This is another episode about our standing rigging. The first episode that you saw was the prep work that Ace did. It's raining right now, so if you hear that on the hatch windows, that's what you're listening to. So all the prep work that Ace did, getting ready for the yacht yard to take down our standing rigging. Those are all the lines and the rods and cables that hold the masts up and protect them against the wind when you're shifting your sails around. Very, very important piece of your boat. And so episode 2 was the Harchie Yacht Yard actually taking down the masts and preparing to replace all of that standing rigging, all of those lines that we didn't replace the masts, just all the lines that go to it. And then episode 3, which was supposed to be this episode, has turned out, it was just so much footage, just really unbelievable hours of conversations between Jim and I about the electrical and lights and mast steps. And it's really, and Jim try to do as much as he could himself. So again, I am completely amazed at the work that he did, and want to show every minute of it, but it would just be impossible. It would just be hours and hours and hours. So I am going to post a few minutes of the conversations that we had, and just know that this was just a snippet of hours of conversations. And as all of our videos are, the work that you see are just snippets of the hours and hours of the actual project work that Jim does. So this is episode 3 of Standing Rigging.
What?
So we have the light bulb on order for the mast.
Yes.
But these are very
light.
old light bulbs that we're replacing.
Yep.
So ordering them blindly online, we don't know if they're going to work or not. And we're going from old vintage bulbs to LEDs.
For this one, yeah. I'm trying to replace all bulbs with LEDs if we can.
Right.
These old wiring systems should do just fine because the LED isn't going to draw more watts.
To test it, I mean, it's got a positive and a negative, you were saying.
This LED bulb, has a positive and negative. Incandescent bulbs don't. It doesn't matter which way the electricity goes through the bulb. Positive, negative, doesn't matter. This one does, and the instructions are sticking it. It's one of these, what do they call it, bayonet type bulbs, where it has 2 little pins, and then you stick it in and twist it a little bit, like cars have a lot of those. They say put it in, and if it doesn't turn on, take it out, flip it around, and put it in again. But since we're not going to be hooked up to electricity until this bulb is 20 feet up in the air, I'm guessing about a third of the way up the mast, third to a half, because it's to light the foredeck. That bulb is the steaming bulb, the steaming light up there.
That's way at the top.
No,
The steaming bulb
light is a third of the way up. Then there's the deck light, more of the spotlight to light up the whole deck facing down.
Right. That was a great light.
Yeah, that's we've got a replacement board for that.
Right.
Shipstar had it.
Okay.
Not a LED, but
So this is the steaming bulb that is not at the top of the mast, but it's
light.
still up the mast.
Still 20 feet up. And I was just thinking, going 20 feet up the mast with the equipment that we have right now, not a big deal. I know the wires that control the anchor light and the tricolor light on the masthead, because I had to yank on that whole line coming through the mast in order to give me a little more wires up at top, because the wires up at top, the casing was all split and dried out and messed up, so I had to cut off all the head. Corrosion was going down into it.
My goodness.
So I cut off all the bad stuff and then just used new wire. I cut it down to good wire, and then I spliced in a piece of new wire.
Dang. Good job, honey. Did you get that on film?
Parts, maybe.
Cool. That's amazing. And that's for the tricolor light at the top of the mast?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that tricolor light, I checked the bulbs with the battery, and the LED bulbs work well.
Awesome.
So we're just going to leave those alone.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you think we
Oh,
should
we already
replace them.
have LED up at top?
Yeah.
Okay.
But since they're LED, I mean, those last
Right.
years and years and years.
Right.
So I don't know if we should replace them or not. I'm thinking no.
And you're thinking about maybe doing your work after 4:30 after the guys go home?
Yeah, I was going to go
Or
drill.
after the yard folks?
I was going to drill some pilot holes for the mast steps.
Yeah.
Until we figure out how we want to put it on there. We can use a metal screw. We can tap it out and use a bolt, or we can use a pop rivet. I've got some good heavy duty pop rivets that would probably be fine and easiest, but we'll see what we have and make that decision later.
And then you have this cardboard you're using as a...
Well, I want to cut a pattern there on the side of the spreaders, on the end of the spreaders. There's a protective covering to keep your sail from chafing when it hits the wires or the cables at the end of the spreaders.
Mm-hmm.
So we put a protective covering on there. There were vinyl ones on there
Mm-hmm.
and lashed down with line, but they're all worn out and need of replacement, and so a lot of people like to put leather on there, and I have a good piece of Latigo leather, so I was going to use that, and it's in good shape. I was going to use that, and I was going to use this cardboard to make a cardboard pattern, fit the cardboard pattern, and then cut out the leather pattern.
Gotcha. Okay. A lot of projects going on with this standing rigging project.
It is, and we're not doing much of it by ourselves.
You got all your chafe guards done?
Well, done. I mean, I have them cut out, but I think I'm going to soak them before I try to punch a hole in them, but I can't attach them until the shrouds get put on there, until the cables get put
Sure.
on,
That makes sense.
and then I have to stitch them on, and I have to soak them overnight so they'll mold around what I want them to do, and then I think I'm probably going to just stitch them by using an awl,
Mm-hmm.
just poke through with an awl, and then a hook awl thing, and then hook the thread on and pull it back out. I think that's what I'll do, but I might take a hole punch and punch a hole through the leather and then stitch it with needle and thread. I think that'll be more work, and I'm pretty good at stitching with an awl, so I'll probably go that route. We'll see. I'm not going to do it until the leather's wet, because it's so much easier to work with when it's wet, and I can't do that until the shrouds are on, so I can mold it around them.
So we have to make sure that they know you have some work to do once the shrouds are on.
Yeah, they know I'm doing it,
Okay.
because normally they would do it themselves. They would either buy or make the things. If they make them out of leather, he says it's very expensive, because I got to make them from scratch. And so, yeah, I can see why they would be expensive, because it's a lot of work.
Okay. It is April 5th, 2024, and this is our last day on F dock. We are headed to D dock. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I think the wind chill is 34 degrees, and the boatyard, Archie Boatyard, is going to take our boat over to the rigging area, get her masts back on, and then move her to our new slip. So it's a big day, but first we need coffee and breakfast. And happy birthday to my niece Jill. Those shooting star right there. Blue. Come here, honey. Come here. I want to see a shooting star. There she is. There she comes. Oh, she just saw Dad go down the dock, so she is very interested. Okay.
Good. I'm glad they got that crane work done.
The crane?
The crane work is done,
Oh, yeah.
pretty much.
This is a great shot.
I mean, Colin's going to be going up the mast.
Oh, he is?
Both of the masts are hooked together with a cable at the very top of each mast, and he's got to go up and hook that up. So it'd be fun to get him going up,
Yeah.
but I don't know when that's
I
going
want
to
to go film, but it's so cold and icky. You see the white line? It was down by the big mast, and they pulled it all the way to the other mast.
He's getting ready to go up with it, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure that's what has to be done, but I am just guessing.
The boots look good, honey.
Good, thanks.
They just look so tiny, and so does the tricolor light. Everything looks so tiny. And I know they're not, because I saw them in person.
Right.
Those clouds look awesome, though, don't they? That's just a cool sky.
Yep.
Today's April 5th, 2024. We're no longer F dock dwellers.
Right.
How do you feel about it?
It's okay.
Sad.
It's going to be a little quieter, a little more walking.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We don't know until we get over there. But we got to get used to the idea of not getting attached to any particular place.
I know.
And that's going to be a hard one because
It's natural.
we've, we haven't moved that many times in our lives. Mast installation. They still have my main boom. Okay, that looks put back together. They didn't finish up. They still have work to do. Have to put the boot on here to do that. That's a TV antenna. We got a banging halyard. I'll have to tighten that down. But the most important thing is the rigging. They got the pins and they got them taped. Brand spanking new. Furlers on. The line isn't in there yet. I'll put that back. But they know that. It looks good.
This is Colin, one of the riggers at Harchie Boat Yard up at the top of the mast. He is one of our dog Blue's best friends in the boatyard, along with Ryan, the electrician. And we just want to thank Colin and Guy for all of their work on the standing rigging project. Next video will be the finale, where you'll see Ace get the sails on, and you'll actually get to see Colin go up the mast. Pretty cool. Thanks for watching.